should be good to go. All right, so this is where we are right now, right? So we have ATPS with all of the motion matching animations available. So right now, everything from locomotion to traversal, all are working, right? Including the crouch animations, and it works. I gotta say, I think it works very good with ATPS, and it's quite a surprise for me as well because before motion matching, I mean, even though with the first motion matching project for initial release, I was still working on Lyra because at then GSP doesn't have the crouch animations ready, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, what the thing is with ATPS, I have to. It kind of have some unique issues with locomotion. So before I go any further, I just want to demonstrate all of these traversal animations.
Yeah, they're all looking great.
Yeah,
Look at that. Smooth, natural.
yeah, it's pretty good. And also, I did some testing in like a replicated situation. Seemed to be
Mm-hmm.
working without any extra settings. So, but
Nice.
granted, I still need to do some debugs later and make sure nothing breaks. Everything works as expected in the like listen server situation, right? So
Right.
right before that, I was working on you know integrating Lyra's distance matching locomotion into ATPS, right? Spend a lot of time working on that because ATPS has these unique issues, I would say, because when I was developing the dual system, I added this feature so that characters can switch hands, right, like this, right?
Right.
But the problem is this pose doesn't really work with the default like locomotion animation because if we like rotate and aim to the left, you will see the arm is being dragged by IK and it's in a straight line, doesn't look good, and it's displaced because it can't reach the IK target.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, the reason I spend so much time on Lyra is that I have to uh, make some mirror animations, right? I can't just
Yeah.
simply slap a mirror node on it and call it a day because it will work fine if we're just going forward and backwards, but if we are trying to go left, the right animation will play. Same for if we
Oh
want to go
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right? So we can't just mirror the animations. We also need to sort of invert the like blend space input, and it gets very messy. So I have to sort of develop, make a lot of the custom animations, like custom mirror animations, right? But
Yeah, to make them. Yeah.
then motion matching update is released. I found this little thing very neat. So inside the post search database, we have this little button called mirror options, right? So we have three
Oh.
options. Original only means it's playing the original animation. It can also be switched to mirror only, which means we can mirror the animations right here. Don't need to worry about the inputs and stuff, which is great, right? We can also have the both mirror and original animation playing at the same time. For example, if I just do this, you'll see two animation being played at the same time, right? Both
Mm-hmm.
the original and mirror. But there's still a problem because the same thing would still happen for the turn in place animations because basically when we are playing this animation mirrored, it's actually turning to the other side. So if I just simply mirror everything here, it will mean um, I'm trying to play both the original and mirror animation at the same time, and they will conflict with each other, and the turning place animation will have a lot of stutters, right? But this is not too much of an issue because I can just mirror the animations manually, basically. So here's what I did. So instead of having only one PSD, I made a copy and made this one entirely for mirror animations, right? So if you look at both the this crouch turning place UE4 and crouch turning place UE4 mirror, both of them are on original only because I already made these mirror animations manually. So right now, however we mirror the animation, as you can see, by default we have the original animation, which has the character's left foot forward, and if I mirror the animation, now we have the right foot forward, and turning place animation, which is being handled separately, is also working perfectly.
Awesome.
Yeah, same thing for
Wow.
like turning place. So now it will, when we switch hand like this and take a step, it will look like this, which is more natural. And if we are aiming to the left, like we did, it's still being stretched a little because it's just way too big an angle, right? I sort of set, for testing purposes, I set the turning place threshold to very big, something like 120 degrees before we can play the animation. But yeah, mostly it works. If I just turn it back down to the normal range, it will work perfectly. Now if we have the character switching hand, right now it's still bind it to a key press, but in the future, before I release, I'm gonna tie it into the switch hand logic, so it triggers automatically, right? This is
Yes.
one of the
Okay.
issues I have to deal with. So instead of using straight GASP, I have to make some modifications. The other issue is GASP doesn't come with the locomotion animation with weapons, right? So it basically looks like this, but if we want to make the character run or walk with a bit more naturally with a weapon, I gotta use a little trick. Actually it's already available in the older versions. Just let me bring it up. Right here. Okay, so to get the upper body to move like naturally, I have to use this layer blend per bone node, and we're blending these locomotion animation and upper body aim offset animation starting from the bone spine 1, but the blend depth is set to 8, so that basically means the locomotion animation will sort of bleed through to this animation, if that makes sense. Yeah. So the catch is, if we set, the more we increase this number, the less it will look like the original aim offset pose. So I gotta figure out a way to sort of fix the pose back into a more like a desirable shape, right? So here's the other thing I developed. 1 second, let me see. Oh, right here. So if you look at our boy Manny here, if I change this value, the character's hand moves in whatever angle you require. I mean location and angle. right? So we don't need to worry too much about the lower body bleeding through too much and ruin the pose, and having to you know fix the poses with a blender or level sequence and stuff. We can just
Yeah, very
use
nice.
this data table to fix everything on the fly, right?
That's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So right now I have basically the upper body taken care of, including shoulders. As you can see, if I rotate the shoulders, if you see a pose you don't like, just open up this data table and change the values.
That's great, actually. Yeah, you
Yeah,
fine tune things. If you bring in your own um, skeletal
exactly.
mesh, then you
Yeah,
can really tune it because it doesn't always line up
yeah.
right.
And I made this because doing things this way is a lot easier and time saving than having to remake all of those animations and see if it works.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I've been messing around with animations a little more just to get more exposed to this side of things.
yeah.
And the best I could find was to take because I was trying to use the character creator
Hmm.
um, from Real Illusion, their stuff.
Yeah,
The best solution I could find was to take it into Blender and then use this add-on plugin to replace their skeleton with the UE4 or the UE5 skeleton.
yeah,
And then it behaves a lot better once you do that. But the weight painting can get a little tricky because it doesn't always
definitely. Yeah,
sit right. You gotta sometimes manually fix things.
yeah. Hopefully, with your custom character using this new, I call it procedural pose system, you can, if you see some animations you don't like, just fix everything here.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway, this is just a data table. It's just used to store these data. These data will be fed into a control rig right here. I have this control rig right now on everything's on packed into local functions. But before I release, I will make all of these public functions. So for your custom character, you can create a excuse me, you can create a new control rig and call these functions, and you don't have to recreate every single bit of logic inside here. Just feed in the values, and that will be it.
Awesome.
Right. So this is procedural pose, and to basically to make the upgrade process of your current project a little bit less painful, I sort of kept everything. Well, I did my best to make everything like integrate easier. So, for example, this is the old ATPS main animation BP, right? For mannequin for many. This is the old simple locomotions we have, and now it's being disabled. And we are using this linked anim layer to provide all of the locomotion animations we need, including the traversal. So the first thing you need to do is just grab a link anim layer node and just select these options. Um, which one is for your character. Just switch to that one. But of course, you will have to do a retarget first. Anyway, if you look in here, this animation BP, by the way, works on its own. So let's say let's say you want to make a different game without guns or stuff, like a platform game, right? You can just oh, let me restart with a different character. Yeah, this is the new ATPS parent class, which is just basically just the sandbox character with all of the motion matching animations without all of the weapon stuff. So if you're trying to make a new game, This will be the start. And these animations are actually broken into two parts, and I put them here inside these motion matching layers. First one is motion matching main, which have all of the motion matching and pose, like searching for pose and stuff, right? The other half is actually skeletal control, something like offset root bone and IKs and stuff. The reason I broke them into two parts is to make things work exactly as intended. I sort of need to play the animation first, apply all of the aim offsets, and play the upper body montage and stuff, and then we can rotate the root bone and stuff. So the rotate root bone is actually put here, which is a lot closer to the end of the output pose. And all of these are basically the old IK system, but it's now being disconnected because it's actually I packed everything. Since I have to make all of those updates on aim offsets animations, I decided to pack all of them into a new anim layer, so you can just put it in and just be done with it, right? Without having to switch out all of those animations and this, the parameters and stuff. And that is where is it? Oh, right here. Yeah, this is the new aim offset. This is the old aim offset setup. Everything is in here, including the procedural pose stuff. One sec. So so as upgrading your current project goes, I would say first thing you need to do is go over to our old parent class, which is TPS base character, and reparent it to this new parent class, BP ATPS MM base for motion matching, right? And one of the things I need to mention before I forget, yeah, this one here. So this is pretty much a one-for-one recreation of the sandbox character from GASP. But I have to make some modifications. For example, like here, try traversal action, this function. Here is a custom function I made because when we try to get evaluate this chooser table, this actual chooser table is not being exposed like to a pin or something. We have to manually switch out this one. But for our child class, for example, our UE4 child class, we can't do that here because we don't have access to that function. So basically, I added this this node into this function, and inside your character class, you can just override it, like in here. Just add this node here, and you can switch to the exact chooser table that you planned for the character.
Cool.
Okay.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. So I would say do the reparenting first, then go to your old animation BP, like this. Use this node to provide all of the locomotion and traversal animation, and use this node for all of the new aim offsets. and use this node for rotating the root bone to handle the turning place and stuff. And this is the procedural pose, which is the data table thing I just demonstrated. So that's like a lot less work than having to recreate everything node by node.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And of course, retargeting will be an issue. So I've spent a lot of time on retargeting all of the animations down to UE5 and UE4 characters, right? So let me just quickly show you. The UE4 character also have all of the animations ready, including the traversal. And sorry, it's stuck. Give me 1 sec. Okay. Yeah, because it's missing the data table. I didn't set the data table for this character, but that's okay. So important thing is, where is it? It's here, I think. Yeah, when you do a retargeting, the the idea is not to use the auto-generated retargeter. For if you're using CC, I doubt there's a ready-to-use retargeter anyway. So the thing about this is, let's take this running animation for example. It's using these post processors to like add the root motion to the new animation, and also pin the bones to the IK bones to the right location. But if you use this root motion generator, chances are you will get something like this, starting at the same position, but this guy, which is a little bigger than the UEFN character, seem to have a bigger guide as well. So there's a bit of an extra distance being added. What I did is I developed a more like a more precise retargeting workflow. So let me show you the retargeter. Right. Okay. So let's pick the run start animation. So you can see we start at the same position and ends at the same position. Oh, wrong button. Okay, that's not just it. So a lot of things, if you're not careful, you will notice something like, oh, not here. Where was I? Here? No. Retargeter to mannequin? Yeah. Okay. So if we look at a climb animation, one of them, you'll see that since our guy is a little bigger, the retarget result isn't all that perfect, right? This is the point. We try to make contact with the ledge, but since our guy is a little bigger, the hands are actually floating, right? With IK retargeting, we can of course turn on the for example, the blend to source all the way to 1. Right? That will make things a little better, but not really. Because when we get up and for the rest of the animation, the hands will be dragged down to the source location. And you will see our character being dragged to a tilt, which is not great. So, sorry, been having this bad cough lately. So what I did is develop a new method. First of all, we don't use the root motion generator. We just pin the root bone of many to the source, to the root bone of the source skeleton. This way we will keep the root bone in the exact location. We don't have add any extra distance to it. Then for the IK blending, like pinning the IK bones, those 7 bones, including foot root, hand gun, both IK foot and both IK hand, I broke them into 2 parts. So for IK foot root, we want to keep it on root always, and the target's root, which is mannequin and Manny's root bone location. And same for hand root, IK hand root. We also pin it to root. The other foot IK foot bones, we pin them to the actual foot bone location. But for hands, it's going to be a little different. So this one, number 4 here, being disabled. For this one, we are actually pinning it to the target, which is Manny's own hand bones. But number 5 here, we're dealing with the same bones, IK hand gun, IK hand L and R, but we're trying to pin it to the source. The reason I do this is we pin the IK bones to the correct location, which is here, and then we use an IK solver to drag the hands to the correct location on demand. During this when we are playing this animation, we can use F curve and a curve to control the alpha of this IK, right? So at this stage, the alpha will be 0 because we haven't made the contact yet. But just when we are about to make contact, we turn the value from 0 to 1. So the hand will be dragged down to the correct location. And when we are about ready to detach, we turn it back to 0. So everything looks natural again.
Brilliant.
Alright, so for 4 and 5, we're dealing with the same bones, but you only want 1 enabled at a time. And generally speaking, for all your locomotion animations, it's okay to pin everything to the target, but for traversal, you need to pin them to the source. Same thing for here, which is very important. Number 6, we are trying to pin the interaction bone to attach bone. If you have a look at the one of these animations, for example, when we are trying to play this traversal montage, we're actually using this motion warping notify state to sort of warp our character's root bone to a desirable location. For example, if we have a higher obstacle, then we can warp the root bone to the new target. But this motion warping is actually using this option, warp point atom provider set to bone, and the bone is actually our attached bone, which is right here. For all of your like locomotion animations, this bone is always attached to the exact location of the root bone. But for all of your traversal animations, this one is actually authored to stay at the ledge. So, but the problem is for our buddy Manny here, we don't have a attached bone, right? Fortunately, we have this interaction bone we can use, which is why I set it here. So we are copying the attached bones location from the source to the interaction bone. for the target. Now, what happens if your characters, for example, your CC character doesn't even have this bone? Well, obviously you can add a bone inside Blender. You can also use the built-in like UE5 built-in skeletal mesh editor to add a bone. That will also work, but an easier way
Mm-hmm.
would be like for example our UE4 mannequin, which doesn't have the interaction bone either. So I'm actually pinning it to IK hand root. Pinning IK hand root to the attach bone location, which is basically using this one as an attach bone. But you just gotta be careful because I doubt this will ever happen. But if you have any IK settings, like changing the bone's location, that might cause some issue. So, uh, if you have these setups, it's probably safer to add a new bone to it. So essentially, the retargeting process is all the same. You just want to keep these two always on, and these two only one at a time, and this one you can leave it on. Should be okay. Oh, right. No, not exactly. If you're using, like for example, UE4 mannequin, which doesn't have an extra bone for interactions, and you decided to use IK hand root, then you probably want to turn number 6 off during the retargeting all of those locomotion animations. So with this workflow, it should get you pretty good results. And let me switch back to our boy Manny. Okay, so right now I have done a lot of work with the new system. It's pretty much ready to go. I just need to check all of the poses to make sure everything works, including, for example, I already done this part with the shield. Right now we are playing exactly the same animation as the default standing animation, but difference is I use this procedural pose to change the location of the pelvis bone. So let's say if I turn it, crank it up, we'll move the character up. Crank it down, will look something like this. Okay. Another thing is, oh, let me turn it back to -10 before I forget.
Okay. Yeah, leave that in there.
Yeah, this is probably more natural. Another thing is, sorry, in the new update, I'm ditching the ATPS old rotate in place system. So for back in the older version, the when we are aiming down sight, there's actually only the pitch that's working. There's no yaw animations, but right now I'm ditching that because never really worked that well anyway. So right now I still need to add sort of like yaw angle aim offsets for all of the weapons like this. That'll take a bit of time, but I already finished a lot of it, like pistols and two-handed weapon, two-handed compact, and shield. I still need some time on the bow because bow animations always creating issues for me. But with the new mirror animation available, it's actually looking a lot better than before. So it looks natural. It doesn't twist the body too much, and it also looks pretty good in motion.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So that's pretty much I have on right now on the on the UE5 side. But I also made a little add-on for actually it's a new animation workflow in Blender. You know, trying to solve all of those animation issues I encountered during the development of this upgrade, right? So
Mhm.
the thing is, if you have an animation you don't like, obviously inside UE5 you can bake it, load it into a level sequence and bake it to control rig. Then you can use the control rig to edit the animation and bake it back into a animation sequence. The thing is just um sorry, one sec. Let me open this one up. All right, and I want to come here. Thing is, if we just bake this to control rig, it doesn't always work that well. I mean, it's hard to manipulate the gizmos and stuff inside Unreal Engine, and it doesn't really work that well like in Blender. So, had to since I have so many animations I have to deal with, so I developed this new workflow. Essentially, we can take exported animation, bring it into Blender like this, right? Say if I want to modify this bow animation, I can just do this. Click on this, switch to UE5, click on bake. It will look like this because these bones are, I don't know why they are being uh, given a location, but we can just click on this. Everything will be fixed. Then we can snap the out of place IK controls to the correct location and toggle between FK and IK mode. This is actually a Rigify rig. And now you're ready to animate.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah, when you're done, something like this, just click on Bake Animation. Oh, sorry, it's not being baked because I didn't save the animation. Anyway, um, I've been using this method for a while now, and still have a bit of a kinks, but mostly, for the most part, it works just fine. I'm actually not with this add-on. I'm actually not adding any new functions and stuff. It's actually you making use of this add-on, UE to Rigify, which handles the baking animation to Rigify rig process, right? And
Uh-huh.
the thing is, I'm just if I don't make this add-on just basically automates a lot of the steps. I will share this add-on uh, with the community later, but just I gotta figure out some bugs first. So it's
Awesome.
yeah, will be some time.
I look forward to that. Yeah.
I think it will help some people. Anyway,
Yeah, definitely.
if I don't if I don't make this, the process will look a lot like this. Say I have this one right here. I have to remove the extra LODs and select our skeleton armature object here and remove all of these keys. These keys are giving me trouble at the beginning because they are actually scaling the armature down by 100 times. So remove all of this, then we can apply scale. Everything will be back to normal. Then we can use this, pick the rig, select the correct template, and hit convert. Even after that, we gotta deal with these runaway bones. right? One by one. Alt G,
Mm-hmm.
Alt G, Alt G. So one by one, which takes a ridiculously long time. So yeah, that's just a little helper add-on I made for myself, but I think it might help someone. So yeah, as soon as I
Yeah,
finish the
definitely.
looking for the bugs, done with the bugs, I'll be sharing it with the community. Yeah. So basically that's it. A lot of work to do. But I mean, a lot of work has already been done anyway. But the,
Yeah, no kidding. You've
yeah,
been busy. How are what are you going to do about the cover system?
cover system. Yeah, I did make some actual function for the. Oh, did I mirror the enemy? No, that's fine. So added some extra features for the cover system, and everything's still working. Just added these corner traversal animations. I still need to remake these animations because these are just for a sort of a proof of concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I will be adding this as well in the next update. The character is just walking too fast. It's breaking cover. If I just turn the speed down to normal, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before, but if you have the character just face sideways,
Mm-hmm.
then you won't have your issue of the guns
Yeah,
or the backpack or whatever going into the wall.
yeah. I mean,
So if you're gonna remake animations,
yeah,
that could be a chance to do it.
yeah. Probably not gonna be in the next update. So,
Yeah.
in the one after that, I'm definitely gonna remake some of the cover animations. I mean, before that, I don't have a whole lot of like valid animation workflow. But since right now we have this new workflow, definitely after I finish the update, definitely gonna remake some of the animations. So make it more like
Wow.
characters leaning to the walk with the shoulder with a weapon. That would probably be better, I think.
I think so. I've been going through all the games
Yeah.
that have used cover systems, and almost all of them they just have the character face sideways to solve
Yeah.
that, and then they can have however much on their back, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, I'm thinking about making my anyway. This ATPS is basically a base for my own game, which I haven't even started yet, but definitely I can use um, the new cover animations.
Yeah, you've got a good start here. Very exciting stuff.
So
Do you have
yeah,
an ETA in mind?
hard to say right now. Still got like for example, still gotta check out all of the poses, and
Mm-hmm.
add the new ADS aim sets and check for bugs. Excuse me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
But I think the
well,
bulk of it is pretty much done.
yeah, this is great. Are you going to make like a manual and links to materials
Uh,
for all this?
Sorry, what do you mean by
Or
that?
like, are you going to make instructional manual and tutorial
Oh
videos
yeah,
for like
definitely. This is
pretty
just
much
a
everything
demo.
you just showed me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is just a demo, and like for example, uh, the whole process after the update is live, I can either make a video or do a live stream about this. And I don't know about like manual instructions, and I think like a step-by-step walkthrough video would probably work better.
video. Yeah, I prefer videos anyway
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
All right.
That'll be great. Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for showing me.
No problem. Yeah, it's been long overdue, I think.
Well, it's you've had to solve a lot here. It's
Yeah, I
incredible.
do. It's just with the new system, it's a lot of stuff to look into. And it doesn't really fit together um, that well at the beginning, but I gotta say, motion matching is actually a lot better. I mean, integration wise, it's a lot better than Lyra.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Lyra, I found to be kind of a nightmare. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah, same here.
yeah.
So, anyway, like I said, I did some brief testing on the uh, like replication. Everything seems to be working just fine, including
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so the mirror pose value is not being replicated, so which is why um, the other side isn't showing the mirror animation, but it should be okay. I just have to I just have to replicate that value, and should be okay. And
Awesome.
yeah, that's about it.
Wow. Pretty cool. I can't wait to get my hands on it and play around with it.
Like I said, I'll keep you guys posted. Oh, we have someone else. Oh, it's just me again. All right. Any other questions or any other things I can help you with?
No, that's I appreciate you taking a moment to show me. That's really cool stuff. I've been curious how it's going and excited to try it
Yeah.
and
Okay.
learn from it. A lot can be learned from all we've done there.
Hope so. Hope so. I mean, it's a bit complicated and been experimenting with a lot of stuff. For example, I have to choose like three separate tech path and pick the best one. Even the procedural pose system, I tried like three different things, three different ways to handle things. And oh, by the way, in the future, I'm planning on. Don't know if I mentioned this before, but in the future, I'm planning on expanding the procedural pose a little bit. Right now, it's focused on the upper body part to deal with the weapon handling issue. In the future, I'm
Hmm.
planning on expanding it to a full body procedural pose fix. That
Oh,
way,
cool. Yeah.
if you want to, let's say, oh, I stopped sharing, didn't I? Let me, what I have in mind is, let me turn it back to one and the standalone mode, and here. All right. So, what I have in mind is something like this. Right now, we have the non-combat animation, and if I just copy this one, call it non-combat, and we can zero out the values, all of them here. Should probably create a new line sub. Yeah, copying that. It's a lot of effort. Non-combat. Okay, say if I want to make like a feminine animation, right, for female characters,
Hmm.
I can, for example, change the elbow location to something like this, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a good use.
Yeah. Also change the feet location, right, to make it more like a ladylike, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Just the
gonna be a lot better than having to remake all of those animations because we are dealing with a lot of animations. I mean,
Oh yeah, for sure. especially with motion matching. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow. Like
that'll be good. Yeah, spine
900
adjustments will
animations,
be
and
good too.
that's just for UE5 skeleton. We have another 900, almost 1,000 animations for UE4, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I find spine and neck can be off quite often. They won't be right.
yeah,
So if we can just do a offset on those, that would
of
be
course.
really
I
good.
already planned it. For example, the chest location, chest rotation. Basically, I'm trying to going to use sort of like spline IK to control this. Yeah, gonna experiment a little, but in the probably won't be available in the next update, but the next one it should be there.
Pretty great. Pretty genius stuff.
Thanks.
Well, thanks, Domino. Appreciate your time.
No problem. Like I said, it's been long overdue. Anyway, if you have any questions, just let me know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll be watching the Discord.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.